Hi, I'm Dr. Boyce Watkins from Financial Juneteenth, where we encourage economic empowerment through financial literacy, entrepreneurship, and combating workplace discrimination. You may not have had a chance to hear me talk about the young lady that I have on the line today. I am so impressed with her. I've always been impressed with her. She stands out to me as one of the leading go-getters that I know in terms of financial experts and public figures. Her name is Miss Dominique Reese. Now, the thing about Dominique that I have to start off with is Dominique was actually the first graduate of Crenshaw High School, if I'm not mistaken, to go to an Ivy League university. Or is that right? Or to be accepted
To attend Princeton.
To attend Princeton. Yeah. Okay, my apologies. Yeah, to attend Princeton University, and that right there is just the start of an extraordinary life. Even since then, she's done amazing things, and I'm gonna let her tell you more about some of the great things she's done and things she's doing. But first, I want to welcome Dominique. How are you doing today?
Thank you, Boyce. I'm doing very well. How are you?
I'm doing really well, really well. You know, you and I hadn't talked for a while, and you have, because you've been busy.
Yes.
You have a new baby.
Yes.
Really, it's so.
Yes.
And when I saw that, when I saw it on Facebook, I saw that you were with child, and I said, "Oh, that's great." But then I thought about it, and I said, "She's so ambitious. She works so hard. How does that?" How's that going to work?
Wow. Yeah.
You know,
That's the same thing I asked.
because obviously the baby will benefit because he's got this amazing role model and he's going to learn work ethic and overcoming. But sometimes that transition from hardcore entrepreneur to hardcore mommypreneur, if you will, that can be kind of tough. What's that been like for you?
Well, initially it wasn't all glitz and glamour. I was really looking forward to becoming a mother. It's a beautiful moment, and the pregnancy itself creates the bond. But being the go-getter that I am, being as ambitious as I am, and the checklist is as long as it was not easy for me to come to peace with the fact that I had to slow down. I just wanted to ramp up, and I think learning when I was pregnant happened at an interesting time in my work transition. So for me, it was all about, let's ramp up on this business. We're back in business. Let's go. We've got all these things to accomplish. But then I'm pregnant, and then, okay, baby's on the way. And I'm still trying to pull all-nighters. I'm still trying to, put articles out and get clients. And I actually was working with clients, during the time that I was about to give birth. And it was no easy realization for me that, Dominic, you got to slow down. I was literally forced to just kind of stop what I was doing and focus more on becoming a mother. And it wasn't easy for me. It wasn't something that I accepted. I thought I could continue to do it all. I thought I could run the business and be a mom from jump, but I couldn't. I was tired. I wasn't really happy. I wasn't producing the same type of quality in the business. And so I literally had to just stop and enjoy the motherhood side. And that wasn't easy for someone like me. I'm just used to going and going and going. So it took me a minute. It took a week or two for me to just kind of go through the motions. I cried. I thought I was a failure. I thought I wasn't providing for my child. Even then, it was really stressful, actually. But coming out of it, I realized I needed to do that. I needed to go through that. We all have our own struggles. And for me, slowing down was a struggle.
That's so interesting because before you became a mom, I knew of you also because Ryan Mack introduced us at an event, a great event he held in New York City, and I've as much respect for Ryan as I do for you. You guys are my leading minds in terms of just financial experts that are really doing great things for the community, and I knew about your company, Communitree LLC, and I also knew that you were going through some transitions. You moved out to the Bay Area to work with a company out there, and so during the time that you were having the child, you also dealt with some transition with the company, right? Where things didn't
Absolutely.
quite turn out the way you expected. Can you tell me about that?
Absolutely. Well, interesting timing of it all. So, I moved to the Bay Area to work with a financial startup known as Nestwise. And we were in the game to basically help middle Americans, hardworking individuals, who wanted to get their money right, but needed a financial advisor. And we provided that along with financial advice at a very affordable rate. And so things were getting very good. We were picking up many clients. And all of a sudden, we were laid off one day. Our parent company, LPL Financial, had a strategic change in their vision, and it didn't involve NestWise. So I
Was this before or after the baby came?
this was before I even knew I was pregnant.
Really?
And
Wow.
so I got laid off sometime in August, the end of August, and I found out I was pregnant the first week of September.
No. Wow. So
So talk
so
about transition.
so you were hit with kind of a double whammy. I mean, because when
Exactly.
a lot of people, when they get pregnant, when men and women get pregnant, right? Because it takes two to make a baby. Last time I checked, right?
Exactly.
The first thing we think about is, okay, I've got this other mouth to feed. Do I have enough money? And so the right, literally a week or two after you find out that this company's folding, you then find out that the baby's coming. So you were
Yeah.
really being tested at that point. I mean, how did you
What
feel? How did you
about it?
respond to that?
I just prayed. I am truly a woman of God. I know I can't do it all, even though I try to. But again, I understood it as this is what's supposed to be happening. I went into the corporate game, um, realizing what I was trying to get out of it. So for me, the opportunity to go back into corporate was one that I made a strategic decision about. I knew as a solopreneur running my business in New York City that I had hit my ceiling. I made all the money I could make working by myself and for myself. So the next transition would have been to either hire, develop, and train employees to work with me and or to go back to school to learn more about running my business. And I thought, well, why go back to school and pay to get the education I need when I could go work and get paid? And
Mm,
so for me, going back to corporate was all about what I can get out of it. And I was able to get exactly what I was looking for, which was the experience of learning how to hire, train, and develop. Because in the roles that I played at that company, I managed a workforce of advisors, including the hiring process for some of them and then the onboarding process. So I did learn how to hire, train, and develop. And then from the business standpoint, I was business development director. So I had to create initiatives, processes, systems to further our business. And so it was very enlightening for me. So for a strategic pivot, I would say I went in, I knew what I was getting out of it, and once I learned I was getting laid off, was not sad about it at all. I
mm,
knew, okay, I've been through this before once, getting laid off at Merrill. So for me, I understood that corporate has no loyalty. But again, going in, I had a purpose and I achieved that purpose coming out. So for me, that day was actually a realization that I could now hop back into being an entrepreneur, start running my business here on the West Coast, which was part of my vision even when I was back on the East Coast running Community LLC. So again, I looked at it as the Lord saying, all right, now it's the time to transition. You've learned what you needed to learn. You've made the contacts you needed to make. You now have a plethora of resources you didn't have before. Go on out, step on faith, and do your thing like you know how.
mm.
So that's what I've been doing ever since.
Wow. Well, when it comes to corporate America, you have to quote the great philosopher Chris Brown and say, "These hoes ain't loyal." Right? I mean, corporate America is the most disloyal place in the world. You can lose your job at any time. I mean,
Yeah.
without any notice because they don't want the employees to start panicking. So they don't tell them anything until the last minute. Even with Enron, I remember reading about how, the executives knew that the ship was sinking, but they said, well, if we tell our employees, they're going to all jump ship. So we can't do that. We're going to tell them after the ship is already under the water.
Yeah.
And in fact, I remember when I worked with AOL Black Voices, I didn't work. I wouldn't say I worked for them. I did things for them, but it wasn't my full time gig. But when I came in and started working with them, I remember from the very beginning, I remember thinking, okay, what I want to make sure I get everything out of this that I can. I want to learn what I
Right.
need to learn. Build
Right.
my audience, etc. And because I knew that that day could come when when the corporate people say, "Oh, sorry, everybody's fired," and lo and
Right.
behold, that happened. Ariana Huffington
Mhm.
bought the company, and when they bought the company, they hired some ridiculous woman to run Black Voices. She totally destroyed it. She did a horrible job, and but her first decision was, we're firing all the freelancers, and I thought, that doesn't make sense, because I probably made hundreds of thousands of dollars for them just
Right.
because my articles were getting so much readership. And I said, that's probably not going to be a good move for her. But I went on and I just said, okay, well, it's okay. I've been preparing. I built my lifeboat. I'm ready to move on. I have something else to go to. And
Right.
what's interesting is that when you have prepared your lifeboat, you can often find that you have a better life after you've left that relationship than you did when you were by yourself. So it's
Right.
kind of like the dating process, where you want to write your ex a thank you note for dumping you, because you would never have met the person you met afterward.
Right.
So
Right.
speaking of lifeboats, what lifeboats did you have in place to kind of prepare you financially for this freedom that they had just granted you? I mean, were you still running Community? Had you invested and saved? I mean, what did you sort of done to kind of be prepared for that?
Right. So again, just saving my money. And I think the other idea about going back to corporate was I had a chance to get my money right again, and I said that I would. So again, everything was strategic. How much I was getting paid, how much I was putting out, I was able to save money. So I had some savings. I wasn't stressed. I wasn't worried about just completely living off of the severance. But I did have severance, so that was part of the light boat. And again, that's part of the decision to go back to corporate, because again, I know these things happen. I know that in my industry, you have to go into financial services knowing that you can get laid off the next day. And so if you do that, you are better prepared about what this experience is going to be for you. So I saved my money. I, kept the emergency fund. I did shut down Community LLC completely. And that was obviously the conflicts of interest and things like that that they have when you enter corporate. But I rebirthed it, and I rebirthed it as Reese Financial Services. And now I'm in a place with my business where I can do more than I was doing with Community, but it's also like a graduation effect. I feel like we've grown since Community, and we did the work that Community was supposed to do. And now I'm able to do the work that Reese Financial Services is built to do. So that's how I
Interesting.
did that.
Okay, interesting. So now I knew about Community, and you told me about Nestwise. Now Reese Financial Services. So tell me about you as a businesswoman. What do you run, and what do you do?
Absolutely. So I am still a personal financial coach and consultant. I work with individuals, hardworking individuals and families, to really build their financial foundation and secure their future legacy and wealth. I want to help my clients get to wherever they are in their financial life to where they want to be. And we do that through budgeting, saving, spending plans. I take a look at their credit. And because I'm not an advisor, I don't do any investments, but I do refer business out for investments or retirement planning, college planning, things like that. But I will counsel you on some of the strategies that you can take regarding those things.
Hmm.
Um, so it's still, financial planning for the middle class, and it's very basic, but it's very impactful because
Hmm.
most of my clients are the clients who work very hard for their money, and day in and day out, but don't see a dime of it. Don't feel like they're able to really use their funds the way they'd like to, are living paycheck to paycheck, which we know as of last year, about 76 of Americans were living paycheck to paycheck. And they have no savings or little savings and lots of debt. So
Hmm.
it's like these are the profiles that I see, these are the profiles that I work with, and I work with people across the nation. So distance plays no role in who I can help. But that's what we're doing at Reese Financial Services. And what we're trying to do, and what we will do actually, is bring this online so that it's more scaled to help more people.
Hmm.
So it will become a business that someone can find online, understand that their needs can be met using the curriculum that we've built, and then do it at a sort of self-paced program if they want to do it in the privacy of their homes, or they can join one of the group coaching programs that we're building, and create some type of traction with their money in a group setting. But again, it's all virtual. So we're basically bringing my business from the one-on-one, which I'll still continue to do, to online, so that we can reach more people and really give more people the tools that we've developed because they work.
Mm. Well, I love it. I love it. And I want to go back to your most important job, which is that of a mommy.
Yeah.
And I love that. I just love that term, mommypreneur, because I think it's a nice fusion of of ideas in that being a mother. You and I talked about this off camera, that being a parent, really not just a mom, but being a parent, it is like running a business, right? You have to
Hmm.
manage your resources and invest the time to make sure that the strategy is appropriate for your
Right.
most important client. And I told you that there were a couple of things I wanted to share with you on camera, so that other people could benefit from these thoughts if they're helpful to people. The first thing I found is that I learned something a long time ago when I was about 27, 28, from watching Will Smith talk about his divorce. And one of the things that Will said that was interesting was, he said that the reason he was divorced was because he gave 100% to his career. He was go, go, go. But when it came to his family, he kind of gave his family like whatever time was left,
Right.
and he realized that you can't do that. You have to go be 100% go, go, go in everything you do. And at that point, I said, okay, that's why my relationship fell apart. That's why she cheated on me and dumped me.
Hmm.
Anyway, there you go. My issues poured out there. I'm just kidding. But in all seriousness, though, like it did make me reflect and say, okay, well,
Right.
maybe I have to find all the things that are important to me and think of life as a holistic process, and not sort of think, okay, family here, work stuff here, and
Right.
because when you're in your 20s and you are an ambitious person like you are, like I was, that's what you can tend to do. Sometimes you can create that imbalance, that where it's like you're just giving everything to your dream, and
Hmm.
you're not, you're not sort of making all the investments that you need to make to be a healthy, whole, happy person. And
Right.
so I, what I found is that challenge of having to create that balance, it really makes you grow as a person. It forces you to not just sort of be this one-dimensional creature anymore. You have to
Right.
be a multi-dimensional, really,
Yeah.
I would argue, a true leader, a true CEO. Because you think about it,
Yeah.
if you look at someone like, say, Barack Obama and all the great leaders that we have in our country, he's not just the commander in chief. He's got to deal with everything from foreign diplomats to maybe the Jewish constituency to the black community to economic policy to who Sasha and Malia are going on a date with. You know what I mean?
Right.
And all those things have to be important. He can't just say, "Well, I'm
Yeah.
the president, and so why would the president waste time taking out the garbage?" Well, Michelle would smack him upside his head. Well, you're gonna take the garbage out right now if you want to stay married to me or whatever, right? And so I
Mhm.
think that holistic approach can really be extremely beneficial and create that balance that really helps you emerge as a better, smarter, stronger person. And the other thought that I had, this is more pragmatic, is I don't know if you've thought about or how much you keep like personal assistants or anything like that, but I find that a really good personal assistant for your whole life, not just for your business, but for your
Right.
whole life, can just do wonders to make sure that someone is handling the rudimentary stuff while you're doing the higher level big boss
Right.
CEO stuff. Is that what your
Right.
experience has been? Have you tried that?
You hit the nail on the head. So again, trying to do it all. My child is like, no, mommy, I want your attention right now, so I'm gonna get it. And that put me in a position to not do anything for my business for weeks. And I had clients that I was working with. So I had a talk with my sister. And before, I was pregnant, she used to help me with Community LLC. She was one of my assistants. So I said, hey, how about we do this? We start a business for you, your own personal assistant business. So I'm teaching her entrepreneurship and I hire you. And that's what we've done. And she's been great. So much so, if it had not been for her and me getting an assistant, I wouldn't even be where I am right now, like able to do this interview with you because I would be so bogged down. So literally, she handles personal and professional things for me
Mm,
from, doing the research for clients, reaching out to clients, sending emails, anything on the client side that I need done, she does. But then on the personal side, I need you to go to Target and pick up some diapers. I need you to go to the bank and make some deposits. I need you to go to the post office, buy some stamps, send this off. She does it all. So yes, a personal assistant has saved me.
You know that is so funny you say that because I just think about the strategic decisions I made that really paid off for me, and they did involve the personal assistant. They also involve family. My brother Lawrence Watkins, he runs Great Black Speakers, and we had a similar conversation when he left college. He could have taken a corporate job, and I said no. Instead of doing that, because I was like I don't even think you want this job. I think you want to do something else. I said let's try this entrepreneurship thing. And
Right,
so he started working with me, booking my speaking engagements, and then I was like, well, you're doing this for me. Why not do this for a lot of people? And so now he has 250 clients. I'm at the bottom of the list now, but but now the company's really grown, and he's doing his own thing. And without him, I mean, literally, he's maybe hundreds of thousands of dollars. Just those
right,
conversations we had, and it really made a difference. And the best part too is when you're working with family, you've got somebody there that you can trust. Now, working with family can be kind of iffy too, right?
right,
Because if things don't
right,
work out, it can be ugly. But you got a person that's loyal beyond the money, and if they are competent, it can be amazing, and you're helping them out economically. And I can't even begin to talk about how much my assistant Shantae has done for my life. I mean, she
right,
literally will text me and say, "Did you forget that it's so and so's birthday?" And I'll say, "Oh my God, can you send them a gift?" And and it allows me to be the complete man that I want to be. And then the
right,
last point I should mention is my cousin Diana. Same thing. It was the same kind of thing where I identified talent with her, and I said, "Hey, can you work with me on this thing? It's not working at all. I'm making no money. No one cares what I think, but." Do you have enough faith in me to work with me on this? And she said yes. And lo and behold, some really good things happened out of that. So I love
wow.
that. I think that's amazing. Now, before I let you go, because you are a very busy mommypreneur, and I'm really,
Yeah.
really happy to have gotten your time, I want to ask, how can people get in touch with you if they want to work with you and hire you and all that good stuff?
Absolutely. Well, right now, my website is being rebuilt. We've got some great things in store. The best way to reach me is through email, Dominique at reesefinancialservices.com.
Okay.
Dominique at reesefinancialservices.com. I'm also on Facebook, Dominique Reese, or at Reese Financial Services. And I'm on Twitter at Reese Financial. And then you can check out my LinkedIn profile at Dominique Reese. So I'm on social media, but I think the most intimate way to reach me would be via email because I'm very responsive. And again, I'll be probably launching the website within the next 4 weeks. We've got a book coming out that I've been working on for forever,
Really?
but it
Do
is,
you have a title
yeah,
for the book yet?
the working title, Back to Basics, Stop Living Paycheck to Paycheck.
I love it. I love it. It's wonderful, and
Yeah.
that's what I like about your advice. I mean, you're highly educated. You went to Princeton, so you probably could be hoity-toity and over people's heads if you wanted to be, but you don't do that. You show your brilliance by taking complex ideas and making them simple, which I know a lot of PhDs who can't do that. And so to me, that's a limitation on your intelligence. When if you can't explain your ideas to a 5-year-old, then you probably don't really understand your idea at the most basic level. So
Right.
I love it. I think it's awesome. I fully endorse and support everything you're doing, and I'm going to
Thank you
keep
so
on
much, boy.
integrating you into Financial Juneteenth because I just think that you're just a gift to the world because you've accomplished so much. You're giving so much to your community, and I just want people that support you to also grow with you because I know this is, in my opinion, I think this is really the beginning of your story. Because
Yeah.
I know you shouldn't ask a lady her age, but I know you're probably about early 30s, late 20s, something like that. And
29. I'm proud to
29.
say
Okay, there you
it.
go. You're 29. So there's a whole lot of your story left to be told, and I just want to congratulate
Absolutely.
you on your success so far, and thank you for
Thank you so much, boys. Thank you for the opportunities. And again, I look forward to our relationship and all the good things we've got in store.
absolutely. Well, everybody, this is Miss Dominique Reese, and you can reach her, and I'm going to give you the email address one more time in case you weren't writing it down. It's Dominique Dominique, right? Okay.
Yes.
At ReeseFinancialServices.com. And she's also on Twitter at Reese Financial. She's also on LinkedIn. So she's pretty much everywhere. She's big on social media. And if you can't reach her that way, just reach me and I'll connect you and all that good stuff. Because I'm all over social
Absolutely.
media too. So Dominique is a homegirl, and we're gonna be working together for a very long time. So thank you all for checking us out at Financial Juneteenth, and go out and remember to be empowered, gain your financial literacy, be your own boss at some point. Even if you're working for somebody else, always have your side hustle. And until we meet again, please stay strong, be blessed, and be educated. We are gone. Peace.